Hello everybody, Steffi here from The Makers, and we are in full swing, um, edging towards the end of our advent calendar. And of course today we've got 17, 18, 19. Those are the days of the 2024 Makers advent calendar. I'm so excited. I don't know, you probably don't know this. You might not feel very impressed, but in any case, I we put the advent calendar together, and this year there are 4 complete projects in there which are totally planned, are made up beforehand. Find the QR codes inside little parcels and a little slip of paper, and then you can watch a pre-recorded videos. What you're watching right now, if you're watching this live, is something that wasn't planned at all. So obviously everything that we put in the advent calendar, I pick because I love it. I would want to have it, and therefore I pick it. And then I have the utter pleasure to try and think what I, and this does not happen sometimes until half an hour before the live stream, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it because it's a little bit like steady felt. And so today I am so happy with what popped out of my head, and hopefully you will like it too. But let's just say hello to some of you who are watching here. Um, we've got, let's see, okay, ignore that. Need to turn my sound down. Done it. So we have got here, Paul says hi everybody, Pip says hi, hello everyone. Gina says hi everyone from a cold Lincolnshire. It is quite cold. I thought it was getting warmer again today. I think we will have a warm Christmas. Diane says hi Steffi, hope you are well. I am okay actually. Thank you, Diane. I am looking forward to a break. This year has been a year of complete what's the word? Transformation. Everything has been transformed. Whether it is lots to do with the makers, we've moved furniture, we've changed things around with staff, changed things around in how we do things. We've changed everything, and some of it, of course, you might have noticed because I've changed internet provider. I mean, I've changed everything. It's like, what on earth is going on? So, a year of absolute transformation. Next year is going to be a year of consolidation. We're going to make it all work. There will still be some changes happening, but hopefully we are all getting now, put all my ducks in a row, and I'm ready to roll. So anyway, so thank you. That was a long answer to a very short question. Hannah says, hi everyone. Anne says, hello everyone. I can't stay long. I have a Prezi drop to do, so have fun all. Oh, how exciting. Like giving presents. Jane says, hi Steffi and Fluffy friends. Fluff friends finally made it here. Ah, nice to see you, Jane. Gina says, I have to go to work in a few. Can't stay long. Claudia says, hi everyone, nice to see you. Thank you, Claudia. Elaine says, hi, hello, Steffi. Ashley says, hi, Steffi. Donna says, hello, finally catch a live stream. Ah, what is so different about today? I wonder. And Dawn says, hi, Steffi. So before we unwrap the the gifts, then do you want to see what I'm making from it? Only because you've got a few people to rush off, and I want you to come back when you've got the opportunity. So this is today's make is a snowflake fairy. Face. And yes, this is nothing but 3 days worth of goodies. And you also need a maybe a brown or black fine liner, a little bit of blusher, maybe a pink felt tip pen, and you need an iron and some a pencil, and you also need some greaseproof paper. Yeah, you'd think I have a share in the greaseproof paper at the moment because I've been using it a lot, but for this one you definitely. So, um, people are saying, so just received my maker's box, damaged. Oh no! Tell me what's damaged. Don't do email us, send us a photo. Is anything missing? That's the main thing. There must be so many parcels at the moment doing the circulation. Maybe things get dropped on top, and I don't know. So Diane says, oh, how beautiful, and Claudia says, cute. Right, so have a look what we actually got in our parcels. There's 18, there's 17, and there is 19. Okay, so start in the right order. Let's do 17 first. And I will also just say that I've been very sneaky and I've taken some out of this parcel already, so it's not the full amount. Oh no, this is the full amount. So you'd never think what to do with this, but so this is fine wool wadding, 100% wool. Why not try this to help build your core? Sometimes scraps make an excellent inner core of a larger project. How can you contain it? Use this wadding by wrapping it around itself and then felt down. It's a perfect wool hug. I love that thing of a wool hug. Don't we need all of them? So you should be able to open this up, even though it might have like literally fused to itself, and it is very 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 unobvious thing, but it actually is essential to making this little snowflake fairy. Look at the cute little face and the wings. There we go. So then we open number 18, and number 18 has got, oh my goodness, Angelina Fibre. Of course, we do need Angelina Fibre in every advent calendar. We need I'm going to keep it in there because it is, let's take the label out. Some people love it, some people hate it, but we do need a little bit of sparkling. Moonstone Angelina Fibre. There's no Christmas without Angelina Fibre. It has got to be done. Some love it, some hate it. The fact is, we all need a little sparkle on a dark grey winter's night, and the possibilities with heat bondable Angelina Fibre are quite endless. You can mix it into wool as it is, or make it into a sparkly fabric by ironing it. We have so many useful free tutorials on our YouTube channel, and you're getting more today. So Angelina Fibre, and then number 19, open this as well, and I have already dipped into this, so you do have more in your parcel, but I just didn't replenish mine. Oh no, need to keep that. These can go. So Winter Sky Blueface Leicester Mix Top. So BFL stands for Blueface Leicester. What a lovely bright blue sky. What a lovely bright blue. The sari silk, which are these bits here, throws into this glistening mix of subtle grey tones, perfect for winter sky, with sparkling stars above, a sleepy forest, and a great way to jazz up this authentic British Blueface Leicester wool. So it is a natural wool, but obviously it's got extra bits added into it. And well, you can spot all the ingredients in this little snowflake fairy, and I will show you now how to do her. There are some really, really, really useful tips. So even if you're not making a snowflake fairy, you might be able to translate this to something else. So first of all, you need to use this. And I want you to cut off probably about that much, which is, yeah, about, what's that, a quarter. Cut off about a quarter. So you still have a rectangle, but it's slightly less rectangular. It's almost square, but also not. And then you need to round off the edges, but be very stingy. Just cut off very few bits. So you end up with this, right? And then I'm going to cut this down even a little bit more. You don't have to do this, but basically you want to scrunch this up into a ball. So you're going to use this to make the little head of the fairy. So you can scrunch it up into a ball, and then you need your felting mat, and you need a felting needle. Now I'm just going to use my fine felting needle. Ow, that stuck straight into my finger. I wasn't even using it. And just felt this into a little bowl shape. You know me, I love it when I can make something out of just what I have got rather than having to resort to extra bits. Don't worry if it's not very even. So just get this felted into a little bowl shape. So we're just felting this like you would normally felt any fibers. So a pre-felt is exactly that. It's kind of been felted a little bit, but not that much yet. And this one we're just turning into the head. So I'm just going to stab it. If you have a medium needle, you can use that too. It will probably speed it up a little bit. And Anne just says she has to go, can't be late for the sister. I'll catch up later. She's a lovely angel. Is that your sister, Anne? Thanks, Steffi. So we have a few other people who have joined us. Wool from my hometown breed. Oh, that's nice. Blue-faced Leicester, lovely. Up in Yorkshire, no doubt. Pip says, my cat loves Angelina Fibres. She loves rolling in it and getting a sparkling coat. Wow, a magic cat you have there with a few sparkles on it. That's amazing. So it actually felts down quite nicely into a basic shape. So if you ever run out of any basic core, this does the job quite nicely. So I've got a little round ball here. It's quite soft to the touch still. And now I'm going to pop it in here. And all I'm going to do is, I'm going to, did you see what I did? I popped it into the middle like this, into my little pre-felt sheet parcel. And then I'm going to now need to wrap a little strand of wool around this. Now, if you have a thread, use a thread. But if you look very closely on here, I've actually used some of that grey wool. And if you wanted it to look as if she's got a little cap on, like a little, little hat, then definitely use some of this. So I'm just teasing off a very thin strand and popping that around the neck couple of times. So just wind it around it and then tie it off with a knot. So you've almost got like a little ghost here. There are ideas for ghosts. You could make these little fairies just in rainbow colors. Imagine that, with rainbow little rainbow colors. And I'm actually going to cut this short there. Okay. Bit of sari silk has popped out, put that to one side. So now you've got your basic shape here, and now you're going to work on the little cap. So this is a trick that that some of you may have done already, because we used it with the sewing mouse to give her a curly coat. So if you want to make something appear curly, but you only got wool tops, then this is your best way of doing it. So you need to tease off a strand of wool, and I've made sure that I'm teasing some off with that lovely lush blue in it. And now you need to make a twizzle. Now some people don't know what a twizzle is, which makes me think I've actually invented that word. But you know, when you tie some yarn doubled up onto, say, the doorknob, and then you stand at the other end and you put a pencil inside and you twist it so that the yarn in itself spins round and round and round. And when it gets really, really taut, it sort of curls up on itself. And that's exactly what you're doing with this, except that you're felting it on at one end, and then you're twisting the wool strand. It works best if you lay it onto the table and use both hands to twist it. Can you see how this is now twisting into a strand that wants to pull in on itself? Allow it to pull in on itself, because that is how the curls are happening. So you're going to make a whole little cover, and then you fasten it on by stabbing into the curled up wool and securing it. So you do this in small increments, and you work your way all the way around the head. So it's a little bit labor intensive, but not too bad. Just twist the wool. Obviously, the more wool you use, if you use thicker strands, then you get a slightly bigger curl effect. If you use thinner ones, you get very tiny little strands of curls. And then the last bit, you can just felt it down and away into the head. And then you move on to the next thread. Now, there's not just this blue in this strand. There are also other colors, like there's a green here. You might have even got different ones. I found some yellow in there. There's some yellow, some red. So pick the bits out that have got these lovely colors, so that you get not only the gray, but you get extra colors. So I'm going to establish that yarn in wool top in the head again, so it's literally you can hang your little fairy up on it, and then you twist it. So I just use both hands, keep twisting it always in the same direction, and allow it to curl up, and then you're felting it down into the head like that. And make sure that you cover areas so that you're not just felting it on top of each other. So you need to work your way along all of the head. And I'm obviously felting the back of the head down at the moment. And it can appear like curly little hair, but it can also look like a cap if you're joining it up with a necktie that we did earlier. So just get rid of all the loose ends here. And then moving on to the next strand. So this is going to be the front of my fairy's head, so I want to keep that clear. Also make sure you don't stub all the way through the head like I've done here a little bit, otherwise you have that grey fibre coming out at the opposite end. So don't stub too deep. And let's do another. Let's maybe cover this other side of the head. I often frame the head first so that I don't lose the face, so to speak. And so if you have the sewing mouse at home, one of our kits, and you've wondered how on earth we're making the curls on the sewing mouse, this is exactly the same. That is exactly the same that we're doing with the sewing mouse, and that's the same what we're doing here now. I have once felted a sheep that way as well, so you can make a sheep body, and then if you haven't got any curls but you want to cover it with a curly coat, you can actually do wind the wool in, and it does work with bats as well. You don't need to use wool tops to do this. You can actually do this with bats as well if you tease off thin strands. So go all the way to the end of the strand and then felt it down. So I think I might be on my third strand. Remember not to stub too deep into the back of the head so the needle doesn't come through into the face area, so you don't have grey wool coming through, unless you're making a stubble bearded snowflake angel or fairy. Okay, so just a little bit more here on top of the head so that it comes down into the face a little bit. So maybe with the next strand I might have completed that task. So just tease out the wool along the top, felt it down so that you have an anchor there, and then you can twist it with your fingers. Allow the curls to go down towards the anchor, and then when it pulls in on itself enough, just lay it onto the area you want to cover and felt it down. Don't overthink it, just do it. It's probably one of the biggest things people overthink. Sometimes you just have to not think about it at all and just give it a go, because with needle felting you can always pull things off if you don't like them, as you know. So got a bit more that I can just curl up. And then felt down. If you've got a little bald patch, you can cover that. Sometimes you can just pull the curls a little bit along because they're not sort of fastened on super tight. I'm just going to add a little bit more just here around the face, forehead. Get that felted down. And then curls. You could also give her hair by plaiting this wool. That was another thought that I did have, but I couldn't deprive you of this technique, could I? So felt it down, and then if you wanted to, you can actually even bridge that gap a bit more. So you have actually need a little bit more here, but you can bridge the gap between the two sides on the neck if you want it to be more of a cap rather than curly grey-blue hair. So you can just felt that across a little bit more so that it looks more like she's got a little hat on. And the rest is actually cheating. I want to say it's cheating. So all you need to do to finish the little face off is, and whilst I'm doing this, I'm just going to plug my iron in so that it's nice and hot. Yeah, I've got it. Oh, iron is getting hot there. And I'm going to show you now. So basically, what you need is the black fine liner, pink fine liner, Sharpie pen, whatever. And you need a little bit of blusher. That's all I've used to do the head, the face. So I'm going to show you this whilst my iron is getting hot. So before you do anything, make little indentations where you want the eye to go. And I've given her closed eyes, so slight curved indentation there, and you do this on for both eyes. You're actually doing this, it ever so slightly sculpts the face, and then give her a little mouth like this, so you know where the mouth and the eyes are going. Okay, and then you're going to use blusher, and don't be alarmed, I'm always using lots of blusher because I'm blowing the excess off. So I've got quite a lot of blusher on my finger here. I'm just going to color in her cheeks, like I say, don't be alarmed. So she looks a little bit grotesque like that, but when you blow, you see it disappears and it just leaves a very faint bit of pink. Sometimes you have to repeat the process. There you go, and then it's just right. And then for the eyes, you just use your fine liner and you just make a little, very, very faint little line. Just the indentation sometimes is enough to give it that impression. And then I'm just going to pull a little bit of that grey wool down, felt it down. And then just add a little bit of pink into the mouth. And then see where you are with it. If you want to repeat the blusher, especially there where the grey has come out, you can do that. Like I say, don't be alarmed if it looks weird like that. Just deep breath and blow. There we go. That's much better. So she actually, it really does, whatever stays now is not going to come out. And the next thing you need to do is put her to one side, and now you're going to freestyle it with the wing. Now I have folded my greaseproof paper in half. An A4 greaseproof paper is perfect. And then I've got a pencil. So I've folded it in half for a particular reason. Now what I did here is I have made up some spiky wings, but I'm only going to draw one side. So you just literally just do some sort of spiky pattern, however you fancy it. So it could even be like that. Okay, spiky pattern where the fold is. And then, so you can either, if it's very see-through paper, you can normally trace around it from that side, but I can't see through it. So what you use, if you're using a pencil, you can now fold it the other way, and then you can trace over it. And admittedly, it obviously is on the wrong side of the paper, but because I've got a soft pencil, the I don't know, is it still lead? I don't know, whatever it is, the graphite, I think it's that, will rub off. So you have got a mirror image, and then you can go round this again. So either trace it so that you have a mirror image straight through the paper, or there you go, got my wing shapes here now, right? So this is completely random made up. Now you need your Angelina Fibre, which I have put safely here, and it does matter how you lay it out. So don't just put it down like this. Try and tease off strands, and you're now laying it in harmony with how you want the wings to run, so that you have got a nice layer here like this, and then go the other way, so the wing, you're following the shape of the wing like this. Now you could, in theory, I've still got some left here, but you could, in theory, make sure that it covers all of the wing. So I might take some off and put it here. You could, in theory, overlay another piece of paper, but I haven't got one here now. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take this and just move it. So I'm not disturbing it, I'm just moving it, so I can come down with my paper this way and cover all of it. And then my iron is nice and hot, and I'm going to run this over the greaseproof paper for a few seconds. Just going to check it. And what happens is that this Angelina fiber now turns into a film. Oh, look at that bright shininess. Just going to unplug my iron. There we go. So now you've got this shiny film. Now I will just show you that this here has lost all its sparkle. It's exactly the same Angelina fiber, because I've used, instead of greaseproof paper, I used tracing paper, and somehow the Angelina fiber has reacted with the tracing paper, and all the sparkles have gone. It's just turned it completely white. But with greaseproof paper, it retains its sparkle. Now sometimes you can make such a thin film that you can actually now lay it on here, and you can trace through it. If what happened to me has happened to you, don't despair, because what you're going to do is you're going to lay this down exactly where it needs to go. So either that way or that way. Let's use this way, because I can see there. And so now you're going to fold the lot in half. So fold your wing, what's going to be the wing, in half along the crease of the greaseproof paper. You might have to re-watch all of this. And then fold your greaseproof paper over the top. So now you've got your wings tightly tucked inside. Make sure they're flush with the fold. Then you take your scissors and you're going to cut the whole lot out. So just hold onto it tight so you don't move it, and just keep cutting into the jaggedy bits. So you're cutting through both layers of the greaseproof paper, through both layers of the Angelina fiber film, and you're cutting the wing shape out. So you're cutting both wings out at the same time, so that you have identical wings. And hold on, I'm keeping tight hold of my wing here with my left hand, so that I don't lose, I want to make sure that they don't move. Nearly there. Sometimes it helps to cut the rest of the paper off. And there, and there. Try not to cut my thumb off. Here we go. So all of this is rubbish now, unless you want to save bits of this Angelina fiber, because obviously everything's been halved. So you can still use bits of this. Looks quite pretty, doesn't it? Little cut off pieces. And then you have lots of Angelina fiber on your felting mat, but that's okay. When you open this up, you've got your, oh crap. It doesn't matter. Excuse my French. I've cut it in half. I don't know how I managed to do this. I must have cut along this. Anyway, in theory, they're joined together, okay? I don't know how I've managed to cut this in half, but somehow I think I must have cut by accident into it. It doesn't really matter if you've got two separate wings. The main thing is that you have got them in one, that they're mirror image. Because what you're going to do next is, so with your little Snowflake Fairy, you now need to cut into her dress. So cut little wedges into her dress like this, so that you've got little jaggedy bits around the edge. Don't cut too much off. We literally just want little jaggedy bits. So you have to do this all the way around. Don't worry too much if you miss a bit. Mostly maybe make sure that you've got some at the front. So you're not shortening the dress. You're literally just cutting tiny little wedges out, little triangles. And go all the way around it. So she looks like she's got little star dress on, like a snowflake. And these little wool bits, they're going to be very important in a minute, so don't chuck them away. So another one here, all the way around. If for whatever reason the dress is a little bit short, you can usually pull it a little bit as well. Where am I? Oh, there's a long way to go. All the way around. Sorry, this is painstakingly probably watching me doing this. Okay, so don't worry if you have done what I have done and cut both of the wings apart. It really doesn't matter. I didn't want it to happen, but it did happen, so I'm going with it. So going all the way around, just cut little wedges out. It just makes the dress look a little bit more spiky. And maybe a little tip, if you're watching this first and then doing it afterwards, make sure that the front of the dress is longer than the back. Mine is the other way around. On this one it's the right way around, but on this one it's the other way around. And then take your wings, so you can either glue them on or you can needle felt them on. Just make sure you've got them the right way. So to needle felt them on, you will need your needle felting mat, and if you glue them on, just glue them on wherever you think they need to go. If you're needle felting them on, hold them onto your little fairy and then use the little offcuts of the wool and stab it through the 2 layers of the Angelina fibre. And there are only 2 layers because I've severed the 2 wings apart. If you've got them attached to each other, you can go just through the layer of the Angelina fibre. You don't need to do what I'm doing here now, where I've got to overlay them slightly. And of course you need to make sure that you open up the inside again, because you've now felted it together. So just make sure you can even stab from the other side. So you're actually felting the wings on. And repeat on here again. And that's enough to do it. So what I've done with mine, there we go. She's so lovely. So this is the same Angelina fibre that I've where I've actually used a bit of what's it called again? I've forgotten now. I've made up both of these wing patterns, so they also look slightly different. You can fold this up a little bit if you want, so they don't need to be so flat like that. I have used tracing paper with this one. Tracing paper, and it's taken the sparkle out of the Angelina fibre, whereas this one I've used greaseproof paper that you use for baking, and it is left the sparkle in it. Either way, they look quite sweet. So there you go. And then all I've done is on this one here, what I made earlier, I've put the string through the top of the head so you can hang it up as a little decoration, whether this is going on your Christmas tree or whether you have other things that you decorate. But there she is. There's one. Aren't they? Very, very simple little decorations, only using those 3 ingredients, plus you have a bit of a blusher. You have the two types of pen. You can also use red for the mouth. It doesn't have to be pink if you be a little bit more distinct, and just a very fine liner. Or if you have a very sharp little pencil, you can probably make the same marks on the eyes exactly the same way. So little snowflake fairy ready, made from day 17, 18, and 19. I'm just going to check in what people are putting in the comments. So far, I made a tree and pig in blanket and mince pie. I love all your tips in it. Oh, thank you, Beth. Hannah says, I'm at home with shingles. Are you kidding me? How did you get that, Hannah? Oh, bless you. I had absolutely no idea that you must feel absolutely rotten. I've only ever had it once. It's been really awful. Oh, got to sit that one out. Amber says, oh, what time is it over there where you are? It is 1:15 over here. And I think she's talking to somebody in a... So anyway, it's hard for me. So cool, nice curls, says Beth. Stacey says, Amber Maria, not too early, 8:15. Okay, so Stacey is in America. East Coast is 5 hours behind. I nearly said years. It was a slip of the tongue. There was no meaning attached to it whatsoever. Says Stacey, it is quite a bit earlier than I'm more of a night person than a morning person. Well, they do get nights there as well. And she says, Hannah, hope you're soon feeling better. Paul says, Advent calendar number 2 just arrived. Let the fun begin again. Oh, bless you, Paul. You're going for the round 2. I love it. Thank you. Maureen says, hi, Steffi and all from a freezing Ontario. I want some ice and I want snow and I want all of that. Beth says, wow, that's brillo. Thank you for sharing. Wow. Oh, 2 wows. Thank you. Take those. Oh, Claudia says, wow, amazing. I will do this afterwards, re-watching. Excellent. Stacey says, I think greaseproof paper is called parchment paper here in the States. It is, yes. I often call it parchment paper, and then people here look at me in a weird way. So I must have picked that up somewhere. So it's American. I get it. I buy flat sheets for baking sheet pans. Absolutely. That's the same thing. It's baking and for lining your, to put on a tray when you're putting cookies on it, or as they say in, and then also for lining your cake tins. So yes. And if you want to see more with Angel Wings and Angelina Fibre, it is of course covered in my books. So it's covered in here. I'm pretty certain I've got winged fairies in there. So you can use it for fairy wings, you can use it for bee wings, you can make any kind of shape that you want to. In fact, the amethyst fairy had Angelina Fibre. And the Angelina Fibre, it's hard to tell, but she has got, oh no, you can see it here. So you can sometimes trace around on top of the Angelina Fibre if it's thin enough to see through. Angelina Fibre only sticks to itself. This is the thing. So with greaseproof paper, you can literally peel it off, and if you haven't put enough layers, you can put more on top, iron it again. But you do need to, if the longer you keep the iron on it, the more copper color the Angelina Fibre turns. And we've used it with dragon wings, so dragon wings, fairy wings, bee wings, anything you like. So Pip says here, parchment paper is heat resistant, whereas greaseproof is oil resistant and not really for higher cooking temperature. It's interesting. So I don't know what I use now. I use that stuff. I don't know what it is. No idea. It's baking paper. That's what it is. Baking paper. Really sweet little angels. Thank you. Stacey said, so I can use the parchment paper for this graph. Yes, you can. I mean, the main thing is, I think when I use the tracing paper, there must be something in tracing paper makeup that has reacted. with the Angelina Fibre because it's taken all the sparkle out. What a mean, horrible paper taking the sparkle out of the Angelina Fibre. But I think parchment paper, greaseproof paper, baking paper, all of that I think is absolutely. I've even used normal paper, but you really can't iron it too long because Claudia says so cute, made out of nothing, really, which is amazing. That's me, make something out of nothing. Excellent. Beth said, I love my bookmaking fairy folk. It is my favorite. Oh, thank you, Beth. Uh, and so there's Nicola. Rightio, learning all these info bits. Excellent. There will be so much more next year. I am on a roll, and yes. Any which way, we're back, or I'm back on Monday with, well, I guess it must be 20, 21, and 22. Yes, yes, that would be 20, 21, and 22. And oh my goodness, we're nearly at the end. And then 23 is another surprise. And then 24 going to be on your own. And then 25, I might catch up with you between Christmas and. So I hope you have a lovely, lovely day. And yeah, if I don't see you before Christmas, I'm going to say it now. Merry Christmas, just in case I don't see you. And of course, I will be uploading this onto YouTube. So if you want to rewatch it and you prefer watching it on the big screen, then feel free to take it from there. That's all. Take care, everybody. Lots of love. Bye bye.